Alert for heavy, steady rain that will continue to pick up as we head throughout the morning on Tuesday. Right now, you can see radar already completely filled in. We had just a few dry hours early this morning, but now that the rain has started, it will not stop until late this evening and overnight into early Wednesday morning. This rain is covering everyone. Now, for the most part, it's generally light for now. We're still hours away from the worst of the weather, but everywhere around Metro DC, at a minimum, seeing light rain. We have some heavier, steadier rain back along parts of 270 just to the north of Montgomery County through Frederick down into parts of Ballinger Creek, Jefferson, Tuscarora, Urbana. Difficult travel along parts of 270 and over into Newmarket on 70. And this will continue throughout the day today. We know it is a busy holiday travel day, but it is going to be a rough day if you're trying to hit the roads. We've got a lot of rain that will continue throughout the day, so you can anticipate that ponding. We also have a lot of leaves that have fallen, and it can be very dangerous to drive on wet leaves. It can be just as slick as ice, so please keep that in mind if you are traveling. Please take it slow. We've got some steadier rain back into parts of far northern Virginia, just to the north of Winchester. You see that little shading of yellow along parts of 81 and 522 back into Cross Junction. And I do want to show you western Maryland as well, because we've got some shading of pink mixing in there from Cumberland over into Accident and down through Oakland. That's where radar is picking up on a little bit of a wintry mix, maybe some light freezing rain or sleet pellets, but temperatures at the surface are above freezing, so I'm really not concerned with any wintry precipitation for our area. You head just off to the north through parts of central and eastern Pennsylvania. They've got a wintry mess on their hands, but thankfully our temperatures, albeit chilly, are above freezing, and we'll stay cool throughout the day today. Right now we're at 45 degrees in DC, 39 in Frederick, 38 in Cumberland. So even though you did see that little bit of a wintry mix on radar there, anything that is falling is melting at the surface. But the National Weather Service does still have a winter weather advisory in effect until 1 o'clock this afternoon. We had one in effect for parts of Rappahannock and Warren County, parts of the Shenandoah and Blue Ridge earlier this morning, but that has already expired. I think they might expire this one prior to 1 o'clock as well. But for now, it remains in place for some light accumulation of possible freezing rain. So I do want to take you hour by hour here using Futurecast and show you when the worst of the weather really starts to kick up, because unfortunately it's going to be centered around the evening commute. If you're planning on any holiday travel after work today, we are going to be dealing with that heavy, steady rain. And this is not just an impact for us here in the DMV. The entire eastern third of the country is seeing this weather move through right now. And the farther north you go, the colder it is, and you get more of a wintry mix. But all the way down into parts of Florida, we're tracking rain. So here we are right around 1, 2 o'clock this afternoon. You start to see radar lighting up with that bright yellow and orange, indicating that moderate to heavy rain. That will continue as we head through the late afternoon and evening hours. This model in particular is highlighting areas west of 95 for the heaviest and steady rain, with a little bit more of a focus along the I-81 corridor. But I think anyone is at an equal risk of seeing this prolonged moderate to heavy rain. And that's when we'll start to pick up most of our accumulation. So I know it's already raining, but if you haven't done so already, cannot encourage you enough to go check on your gutters, make sure they're not clogged with leaves, or if you have a storm drain near your home, make sure that is clear as well, so that as this really heavy rain starts to pick up later this afternoon and into the evening, it can flow freely and it will help mitigate any flooding concern that we might see throughout the afternoon, because otherwise we're not talking about that much rain in a short period of time to cause any kind of flash flooding, but we want to make sure that everything can drain out as those heavy downpours pick up. And if you do have holiday decorations outside, I know a lot of folks put up decorations over this past weekend. You want to make sure they're securely tightened or bring them inside, because wind will also start to ramp up later today. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. But here we are around 9, 10 o'clock. We are still tracking that torrential rain, checking in with Topper at 11 p.m. He'll still have heavy downpours on the map. And then shortly after midnight, the worst of the weather will continue to push east of 95 and will clear skies out overnight. By the time you wake up on Wednesday morning, it's still going to be breezy, but all of that rain will be gone. Any leftover clouds early in the morning will break apart as well. We're in for a beautiful day tomorrow once we can get past this weather watch for today. So again, heaviest rain moves in later this afternoon, lasts into the evening. So I know it's kind of gross out there now, but the worst will move in right around the evening commute, lasting through dinner time. But then you wake up on Wednesday and sunshine is back. Now, when all is said and done, this is just one of our computer models that again kind of highlights areas west of 95 for that bullseye of heaviest rainfall. And that's where this model is saying we could pick up upwards of 2, maybe 2.5 inches of rain. And I really don't think that's an overestimate. I think widespread we see 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain with some locally higher totals possible. All of our computer models are in agreement for this really significant rainfall. Now, the good news is, again, one, it's not enough to cause any major flooding concerns. And two, we really need the rain. We are still running a major rainfall deficit. So while this certainly will help lighten that rainfall deficit, we're still going to experience drought conditions until we can get more beneficial rainfall like we're seeing today. Right now, everyone across the region is experiencing some kind of drought condition that can range from abnormally dry. Those are the areas you see highlighted there in yellow for Metro DC. Back into Montgomery, Arlington, Fairfax, Prince William County as well. But then you start to get into Loudoun County, Frederick County, and Maryland. You see that tan shading. That's where we're considered under a moderate drought, with severe drought conditions continuing through much of northern Virginia. Areas you see highlighted there in orange. That includes parts of Loudoun County over into Winchester, Front Royal. And then as of 2 weeks ago, we get the drought monitor update once a week, every Thursday. Luray, Harrisonburg, and parts of southwestern Virginia are considered an extreme drought. That's the first extreme drought we've seen since October of 2007. Really exceptionally dry conditions, and the rainfall that we're seeing today will make just a little bit of a dent. But of course, it is not just about the rain. We've also got the wind to talk about as well. It's already noticeably breezy as you're stepping outside, and throughout the afternoon, wind will start to pick up. This is right around 5 p.m. So as the heaviest rain moves in, that's when the strongest wind kicks up, with winds gusting 30 to 35 miles per hour. Thankfully, not enough for wind advisory criteria, certainly not enough to cause widespread power or tree issues. Any weak limbs or compromised branches might snap whenever you get some of those isolated gusts upwards of 35 miles per hour, but not anticipating any widespread tree or power issues. If you want to play it safe, and never a bad idea, just make sure you're charging your device throughout the day today in the event that you do lose power, because those winds really don't ramp up until later this evening. Maybe your phone starts to get a little bit drained. You want to make sure you're charged just in case you can't charge it overnight. And keep in mind, if you do lose power, you can always stream our coverage on our app and on our website. As we head through the evening hours, the strongest wind will diminish, waking up on Wednesday. It will be noticeably breezy with wind coming in from the west southwest rather, and then we'll see that wind shift with the passing of a cold front throughout the day coming in from the north and west, and that will usher in cooler temperatures as we look ahead toward Thanksgiving. So today, really difficult day for travel across really much of the East Coast. But I want to focus on tomorrow, because we know a lot of folks are also traveling tomorrow, and this storm system is still going to be pulling off to the north and east. And for areas where it's colder, back into northern New England, they'll still see some snow tonight. Tomorrow, they should just be dealing with rain once they're on the warmer side of this storm. So if you're heading back into New York or Boston, plan on showers at least through the first half of Wednesday. I think they'll dry out later Wednesday night. We'll see partly sunny skies, but just off to our south and southeast, we could still see a few lingering showers towards parts of southeast Virginia as we see the tail end of this storm, kind of the calmer part of the storm, pull away. Showers will continue down into the southeast as well, but we'll see big improvement out in the middle part of the country. We're seeing rain and showers and even some snow through parts of the Great Lakes today, but much drier tomorrow if you're traveling out to Chicago, St. Louis, Kansas City, or Minneapolis. A little chilly though if you're heading up to Bismarck. We'll still see a few leftover showers through parts of the Ohio River Valley. If you're traveling down south, maybe a few showers in parts of Florida, a few thunderstorms with a few lingering showers in the Carolinas and Georgia. I think that will clear pretty early in the day as well. The second half of Wednesday looks just fine. So if you're planning travel after work, no worries there. Plenty of sunshine back into Little Rock and parts of Texas. Texas seeing some big time wind. So if you're traveling out to Texas today, keep that in mind. You might see some flight issues. And the western 2/3 of the country remains incredibly quiet. That's where the sunshine is today, and it will stick around for tomorrow. Maybe a few showers up into the Pacific Northwest as we look ahead toward Wednesday. As far as our Thanksgiving forecast goes locally, looks really gorgeous. A little chilly in the morning, but if you're running a turkey trot, if you're running the turkey chase in Bethesda, it really is going to be gorgeous. 47 and sunshine. That is some nice running weather, and throughout the day, temperatures will climb back into the mid to low 50s. A little bit cooler than it will be tomorrow, but still a very nice Thanksgiving forecast. And beyond that, clouds do start to thicken back up for Friday. We'll see mostly cloudy conditions with slightly cooler temperatures, and then a bigger chill arrives for the weekend. We'll stay in the mid to low 40s for Saturday with partly sunny skies. A few showers are nearby on Sunday, so we'll probably have to keep some showers in the forecast as we close out the weekend. But as we look ahead toward the start of next week, we dry things back out. So keep an eye on radar today. You can track it anytime in our mobile app or on our website. And we'll keep you posted as we work through this weather watch alert. Again, biggest issues are going to be that heavy rain picking up later this evening, lasting into the overnight hours with gusty wind along with it. But we do see big improvement as we look ahead toward tomorrow.